right. Well, people might continue to filter in, and that's totally fine. This is being recorded as well. So people who aren't able to come can also watch back and hear the answers. Um, Before we launch into your questions, we had had a question brought up in the first Q&A about the logistics for how the rolling admission will work. And we had like a decent answer the first time, but we wanted to do our due diligence. So we got some additional clarity and just wanted
Mhm.
to provide that information to you so that you're as informed as possible. So basically, for the coaching mastermind, there are going to be a few enrollment periods a year. So the enrollment for this cohort of the coaching mastermind is going to close on May 28th. And then this will be the cohort that starts in June. And there won't be another opportunity to enroll in the program until the fall. So there will be further opportunities to join if this is not the right time for you, if you know that you want to do it, but you've got to, got some foundational pieces in order or what have you, that's totally fine. There will be future enrollment periods. But the people who start now are going to start together as one cohort and continue to move through as a cohort in the year-long program. And then the few other cohorts a year will also be, together on their journey. Everyone will be on the same live calls. So for example, the June cohort that starts and then the next cohort in the fall will all kind of come into the same live calls, but you'll be at different parts of your journey because it is a progressive, I don't want to say curriculum, but a progressive journey that builds on itself. Um, so just wanted to clarify that. And Kristin, did you want to add anything?
Yes. So with adding to that clarification, so this first brand new rollout of the program starts June 1st. So that's something we got asked, which um and so if you do enroll for this time, you'll have your access to the replays, the calls, and there's a special designated QHD Coach Institute Slack for the mastermind. So all of that you'll have access for the 1 year. So you have 1 year to get through the program. You'll get a certificate of completion, and then access will be removed after that 1 year's time. So if you know this isn't like your self-paced professional training. So if you know, okay, this is just isn't the right time for me, I'm going to enroll next time because you don't have the time to dedicate to it, then that's okay. You can jump into, when we do have the next enrollment, because like I said, it is the year-long program and access will be removed after a year. So we wanted to clarify that too, because we were getting asked that last time as well.
And just to be clear about that too, because I know that people are also used to like having access at an ongoing basis, partly this is really designed on purpose in this way to encourage you to really commit and take advantage of this time so that you can get the most out of the program. I know that I've had times in my life where I'm like, oh, I'll do it next month. Oh, I'll do it next month, and then it just goes on and on and on, right? And we want you to be encouraged and motivated to show up for yourself in your
Yeah.
business and what you're wanting to create. And so it's a really tight year-long container to give you and really high touch, like you're going to get a ton of support. So if you're like, I am ready to do this in alignment with my design, then this is going to be a really powerful year for you. So I just wanted to explain a little of the intention, be like it's very intentional of why it's this very tight 1 year container
Yeah.
to support you.
And we don't want this to instill a FOMO factor or a fear factor, because if it's not the timing is not right. If you're burned, and those watching on the replay, if you're burned out, it's just not, you don't feel like it's not the right, timing for you. Your vitality is in your energy integrity is super important. And so we don't want to have you sign up for something when you have, define sacral or not, when you know in your gut, like this just isn't the right timing for me, then wait till the next time it opens again, which will be in the fall. We don't know exactly the dates yet. And this pricing is an introductory beta price too. So that will change in the future as well. So there are some, advantages to jumping in now if you do feel like it's the right time, because of the discounts, because it's the first time offer. Things will shift in the future when enrollment opens again. So, but again, we just come back to, we've got a lot of people saying, I don't want to miss out on this, but I just feel like it's not the right time, or I don't want to miss out on this, but I'm super burned out right now and I can't add one more thing to my plate. And we lovingly encourage you then to wait, because you're going to get out of this program what you put into it. And if you're running on fumes and you don't have anything to put into it, it's just not the right time for you then.
Yeah. And I have to say that as a team, this is one of the things we love so much about Karen, and you heard Jen Bazell talking about this on the hot seat coaching of, Karen's not just trying to sell you something. She doesn't want to just take your money. She wants to be of service at a really high level. And so we really want this to be a program and an investment in yourself, and it feels true and good and correct. And it'll be the perfect cohort of people who go through this first round, and then there will be more opportunities. But yeah. And Danielle, I don't know if you meant this current cohort or the next one, but this one starts June 1st, and then the next one will be in the fall. So.
And then I do see, we have some of our already enrolled professional students on the call here. So, and just to reiterate, those watching the replay too, if you're a current student or if you are a CASPA member, that Karen is offering a special discount for you, which will never be offered at this discount again. So I am throwing that out there. And again, it's not to instill do it now or else. It's just, I'm just informing so that way no one comes back around and says I didn't know, we want to just inform you up front about that as well.
All right, cool. That was our housekeeping, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or / follow up to the first round of questions. So happy to open the floor. If anyone has questions, you can either type in the chat or you can raise your hand and can pop out.
Or you can,
or just unmute yourself.
Yeah, unmute yourself, pop out.
For everyone else is shy, I can start.
Go for it.
Hi.
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 My first question would be, I don't have a practice at all. I am super new to this. Human designs have been calling to me for the past 3 years, and I've been self-studying, and then I am certified level 1 in quantum human design and working on level 2 now. What I feel like, and this has been a feeling that has been developing throughout the months, obviously, I feel like there's something missing where I don't want to just give somebody one reading and be raw and shock them and let them go. This just doesn't feel aligned to me. So what I was wondering is this for someone who honestly has no idea what they're doing, which is what I feel like, in terms of, having a business or even doing this professionally? That would be my first question.
Yeah, I honestly think that there's going to be a wide variety of levels of where people are at in their business in the coaching program. There are going to be people who've been in business a long time and are ready to scale to a whole new level. There's going to be people who are just starting out and really looking to build that really solid foundation to launch off really strong. I will say that I think that the main thing, as we were kind of talking about at the beginning of the call, is how committed are you to the growth into that, trajectory for yourself and your service right now in your life. And I'd say that if you're in a place where you're really committed to that and you're ready to show up for it and do the work and really grow and get support in doing that in an aligned way according to you, who you are and your design, then this would be a great program.
Okay. Amazing answer. Yeah, I do feel like that. Go ahead, Kristin.
I was going to say, and can I add to that? This is the beauty of KCP and her creating this program is it's going to be I just mind blowing to me. You can enter this program where, again, like Betsy said, it's going to be for the person who's got all this established and wants to, upscale or evolve to that next level. And then the person who is well, I don't have any of this established, right? So that's the customization that this program is going to give you. And this isn't just you have to do these things in this order. It's like, it's going to be completely custom to each individual, where they're at in their business. And whether that's like, I've been doing coaching for 10 years, or I'm just like you said, like, I'm starting out, I don't really know. And I love that this is all encompassing for anyone on that path at any level, you know, any step of that path and journey. So just know that it's going to be customizable to you, and you don't have to try and fit into anything.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
And
what makes it so like
why-
tailored.
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's also why we have the personal onboarding process,
Mm.
because it gives Karen a chance to personally talk to you, find out where you're at, what you're wanting to grow into, what you're looking for as far as the coaching and support with your business, so that we can give you that in the way that you're looking for.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, it does feel very aligned to me. For the past year, I was in a job that was very like physically demanding for 13 years. And then with the pandemic last year, I quit. And then I've been kind of on limbo for a while. I started kind of like my inward journey, kind of looking for whatever was blocking me from working with art, honestly. And I keep being guided to not work with art as my main thing. Like, I do not know how to produce in the way that I'm supposed to make a living off of this even. And it just doesn't feel like it's the aligned thing. I keep getting like being guided to this. So my other question would be, do you guys know by any chance how the like payment plans work? Do you know anything like as far as like numbers on them or no?
Yeah. So if you did for you, because you're a CASPA member, you're getting a crazy, insane discount.
Yes, I know that.
So
I know
yeah.
that.
So, and that, and that has a 6-month payment plan option. And then if you,
Okay.
we can talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think that's the only piece that's holding me back at the moment of figuring this out. But I'm waiting for, the right opportunities and the right things to align. So
Totally.
yeah, no, but knowing that is amazing. Thank you so much, girls.
Yeah. Message me. Okay.
I will.
Okay. Love you.
And just as a blanket,
guys.
whether including any discounts or not, the standalone coaching mastermind has a 6-month payment plan option. Both the QHD 1 through 4 and the full package with both have 12-month payment plan options. So for anyone else who was wondering about what kind of length of payment plans are available, those are the standard ones. And you can actually set that up yourself on our website. If you go through the process and click through to purchase, at the bottom, there's a place that asks if you want to pay with a credit card, pay with PayPal, or pay in monthly payments. And if you select monthly payments, it takes you to a really fun screen that lets you custom make your own payment plan. You can choose how much of a down payment you want to put down. And then there's like a calculator that like in real time will show you, if you put down this much and choose this many months, it will be this much of a payment. And then you can like play with it. Me and Kristin like geek out about this because we're just,
I don't know why. We like love we like think it's so fun. We're such
it's probably just because we spent so much time making custom payment plans for people, and now we can be like, you can do it yourself and see what you want, and it's just so much more like a la carte and customizable for you. So we've gotten great feedback on that. Gretchen, I want to make sure I answer your question because I'm sure that a bunch of people have this one too, in terms of the frequency of calls and how much of a time commitment it is. So there's going to be a daily touch point in the Coach Mastermind, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week for the entire duration of the program. There may be time off for holidays. I'll give that caveat. There may be times where we take, some time because we're human and that's good to rest. But that's why we say it's such a high touch program. There's going to be consistency in terms of what themes for which calls. For example, Kristin and I are going to be alternating doing basically like a Q&A open office once a week. There will be accountability coaching, and there will be consistency. You'll find out once you get into the program which calls are on which days. But as of right now, they're scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Central, and Tuesday, Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. And all the calls will be recorded. So if you can't come or just don't want to, we have people in different time zones. You can always catch up on whatever you missed. If you have a question that you want to address, but you can't be there live, you could always submit it and we'll make sure we get it answered and then tell you where you can go back to listen to the answer. And then really we mean it when we say like, you'll get out what you put in. So it's really like, there will be 5 calls a week. Are you like required to attend every single one? No, it's totally up to you in terms of what you feel like you want or need at any given time. So like maybe for some weeks you're like, oh man, I really need the accountability. Like I have to show up for the accountability every single week. And maybe some weeks you'll have questions and want to talk to me and Kristin, and some weeks you won't, so it's not a requirement. And then there are 12 modules as part of the year-long program that get released incrementally, and there will be work around those modules. And all of those are listed on the page in the description there if you want to look at the themes and topics for that.
And one Tuesday a month, there will be a 7 p.m. Central call so that the people that are sleeping when we're awake can be on the call live as well if they want to. So
yeah. And if you hadn't seen that already, I'm posting the link for the information about the program right there in the chat, and I'll give you all of the details. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the 3 options there you can click on. One is for the standalone Coach Mastermind, one is for the standalone Human Design 1 through 4, and one is for the combined package of the 2. So that's all on that one page as well. And I did have somebody ask me too, there are some people who just want to do the human design. There are some people who just want to do the coaching. And there are some people who want both. And, we have also, I see, as Kristin mentioned, there's a number of our specialists on the call, right? It's like you definitely get some coaching just in the human design and for being a CASPA member, part of our professional association. But this Coach Mastermind really takes it to a different level. And we've had a number of students over the years come to us and say, I really appreciate all the coaching. I just really would love some additional support in building my business with this. Mm-hmm. And if that's what you're looking for, that's what you will get in this Coaching Mastermind. That is what it is built for. It's why we wanted to support our current specialists in doing it if they're really wanting to grow and build a business with this. Because we've just had people coming to us, and saying they just would love more in that area. And look, Karen started as a life coach. She's coached a ton of people to build successful businesses. So
yeah, she was a life coach before that was even a term. So she's one of the first.
A lot of things before it was even a term.
It's true. Yeah. So, and just to throw this out there too, and then if you all have, you can pop out with more questions or pop it in the chat. But so this would work like if you want to focus on there's some people who are like, well, I don't know if I want to incorporate quantum human design into like what I'm doing in my coaching business. And then there's some people that do. And again, this program lends itself to both of those things, whether you have the knowledge of quantum human design yourself and you're kind of using that in the background with your clients, cool. Or you actually literally want to integrate QHD into your coaching and have that on the forefront. You have the option of doing both. And that's so cool about this program is that it's going to cover the full like gamut of whatever it is that you want to do. Or maybe currently doing, and you could just pivot or add to. I think it's going to be amazing. So, and I wanted to acknowledge Vanessa. I love Vanessa did sign up for everything. She's like, I'm just here because I want to. I may learn something else. I love you, Vanessa.
I'll read the question for people who are watching the recording.
Yeah, good call.
So Lisa was saying that she's taken the first 3 human design courses offered by IHDS, the International Human Design School. And understand the rationale for starting in the quantum human design at level 1. And she's wondering how the content is different from what's offered in the traditional school of human design.
So I cannot speak for what is in the IHDS because I have never been in that community and I don't know what they offer in their levels, but I can tell you on the Karen Curry Parker side of things, level 1, you're going to learn about type, strategy, and authority in the authentic expression of KCP. And so the level 1 is that's what's covered. You're going to learn the foundational language of the quantum human design of what the type and strategy and authority is called in quantum human design, which is Karen's created new language. And the level 1 is about 10-ish hours of self-paced pre-recorded training. And then with that support though, When you do enroll as a QHD level 1 professional student, you have a live weekly forum access. You have a designated Slack workspace that you get access to the entire whole quantum human design community. So there is live component and support with the level 1 training. And then I feel like you're just going to be like, give me all of the trainings, because they're intentionally broken down the way that they are in 4 levels. So I hope, does that help, Lisa? Does that answer your question?
And I'll just actually add to that, because I just know that, I mean, IHDS has a very like specific, like regimented way that they teach in a very specific order. And there's a lot of like very specific steps you need to follow before you can even think about being an analyst. And they're teaching it very traditionally. And I mean, listen, Karen trained and studied with Ra. She worked with Ra. She knew Ra directly. She's one of a small handful of people out there who have taken the original system of human design and, you know, kind of evolved it into her own field of mastery with it. And so, you know, a huge difference of what you'll get with Karen, of course, is the new quantum language in every level. Level 1 from type strategy authority through the centers and profiles, all the way through all the gates and circuitry. She's currently actually working on new quantum language even for the incarnation crosses, which we're excited about, because she at one point said she would never do that. Never say never, right?
We convinced her. Yeah.
But so partly it's the quantum language, and then, you know, I'll just say, and she even says this, she's like, there's a lot of human design teachers out there that each have their own energy, that each have their own perspective and view on it. You know, human design belongs to us all, and each of these teachers has their own brilliance and their own wisdom and their own way of teaching it. And I think that a lot of people who come to study with Karen are really drawn to her energy and the way she teaches it and the way she speaks about the system and the way she transmits it. She's the cross of contagion, so her brilliance is quite contagious. And I know that's what drew me to her and Kristin to her and many other specialists on this call. So, you know, I think it'll be, I know we have a number of specialists in our community who've studied with IHDS and then come to study with Karen, who've studied with Kim Gould, who've studied Gene Keys, who've studied with Chaitan. You know, we have people who've studied with all kinds of different schools of human design and come to study with Karen for what she has to offer in her wisdom. So she definitely teaches it differently than IHDS. But it's really, really based in the foundation that she received directly from Ra himself. And has evolved into her own field of mastery. So I would just add that too about the IHDS piece.
Before you jump to ice, because that question is totally for you, I just want to say we got so excited that I think we assume people know who we are. And I just wanted to say that I am the quantum human design specialist support and coordinator on Team Karen Curry Parker. And Betsy is the
quantum alignment system practitioner support and coordinator. And if you are interested in hearing about the quantum alignment system, I will happily tell you about it.
So Karen has 2 professional trainings, and one is quantum human design and the other is the quantum alignment system. The quantum alignment system has QHD integrated into it, which you can go into Gretchen's question. I was like, oh, I don't think we introduced like, who the heck we are.
Good call. So, skipping steps. See, when I get around you, I turn very MG. Okay. So Gretchen is one of our advanced quantum alignment system practitioners. So I'm happy you're here, Gretchen, and I understand your question. So yes, absolutely. The coaching will support you in building a business around integrating all of these skills. And again, because it's so customized to you, I'm actually really hoping that a number of our quantum alignment system professionals will come into the coaching as well, and lean into that. I know that many are already actually, and lean into getting that support. And so, yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, there are some people who are coming into the Coach Mastermind also who are trained in other modalities, you know, in addition, and are wanting coaching on how to best build their business, integrating those things, right? So really the Coach Mastermind can completely stand alone, and really will support you in building a business around however you're called to serve the world, whether that's using human design, not using human design, using EFT in the quantum alignment system or not. Absolutely. That's what I would say. And I won't expound about the quantum alignment system unless y'all actually want to hear about it, because then I get excited.
I know we get really excited. But Betsy, I love Betsy and I, you know, we call each other's counterparts because we both together, we have a lot of students, professional students that will enroll in quantum human design first. And then they're like, actually, then they'll upgrade to the quantum alignment system or something like that. So we have a lot of fun working together and supporting, our professional students in both trainings. So what is the vision on what the pods will look like? Erin, do you mean like the daily calls as far as the pods, or the cohort itself? Maybe you can't talk right now. If it's the daily calls, then whoever wants to join the call for that day you would be on the group call with them. I don't know if that answers your question. Betsy, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I just pinged Jamila because I wanted to ask. She actually has more information. So what she was saying is that basically you'll be put in a pod, you'll onboard together, essentially, is what it is.
Yeah.
So you'll kind of have this pod within the larger cohort where you'll be onboarding together and together on the journey.
And Jamila Jamie will be your accountability coach. So she'll be the calls, because Betsy and I will only have we'll switch every other Wednesday for kind of like a Q&A open office hour, but you'll probably see Jamila with Karen on the other calls just as support, and where she's been dubbed the accountability coach. So
yeah, that
can look like, she's managing the Slack, because we're setting y'all up with those of you that are current students. We have a designated Slack for the professional training, and there's going to be a Quantum Human Design Coach Institute Slack that's designated specifically for that, which thankfully Slack makes it easy to just toggle back and forth between workspaces. So don't get nervous, like I gotta add another thing, because it's actually really nice to have things organized, but yet together in one app. So yeah.
Thank you. So thanks, first of all, Kristin and Betsy, you guys are really awesome. I don't know, I'm sorting my questions. So I know I have a couple specific ones, but I've been going through the material and doing like the comparisons across from the QAS to the QHD and then all of those pieces. And Betsy, I did send you an email about the QAS. So I just sent it just before getting on.
I was like,
so,
oh no.
Yeah. So no, I just sent it.
I do strive to answer quickly.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I think I sent it off and I thought, no, I got to get on the call.
Okay.
Anyway, I think what's happening for me, I'm a triple split. I'm also a manifesting generator with an open root. So I often get that hyper like, oh, I got to make a decision. And then I'm like, no, take a breath. And then, but what's happening for me is I have a lot of background, but it feels like I need a place of integration, because I've been studying human design somewhat on my own, but also with various groups since 2008, in and out. And then coaching, I've been a life coach since 1999. That also has been in and out because I also became a minister with a quantum background. So with the Centers for Spiritual Living. So I have a master's in consciousness studies, but they feel like I get overwhelmed. I took care of my mom for the last couple years before she passed away, and it took me out of the work world. And now I'm really wanting to come back in, and I've been trying to do it on my own, but nothing takes hold. So now I believe I'm at a crossroads, and the crossroads are, is it really human design and coaching, or is it something else? So I'm excited because I was part of the Map Bully class, which was fabulous. Thank you for that.
I recognized your face.
Yeah, that was tremendous and a great help. And so I'm interested in the QAS. And then, part of being part of this 7-day challenge. So there's lots swirling. I wrote down a bunch of stuff. One specific question is the 25th and the 28th. The 28th is said that is the time to make a decision for the coaching package for the VIP part of it. But the handout says the 25th. So is it the 25th or the 28th?
Which handout?
The handout, the Mastermind package program handout.
VIP day.
The VIP day says the 25th.
Oh.
But online, someone said the 28th. So I'm just verifying which date.
So the pay in full for the VIP day is the 25th, because for some reason that's what that flyer says.
Okay.
But I think we were under the impression, so that might just be a typo, since the 5 and 8 are next to each other on the keyboard.
Yes.
But the 28th is definitely the cutoff for everything. The cart is closing on the 28th at midnight. It's closing. So
I'm an emotional wave person, so I'm riding my wave, and I don't
have a lot of people doing that, just so you know.
Yes, and with that open route, right? So,
Yeah.
and with a channel of charisma, so unconscious. So a lot of conundrums happening, but taking a breath, right, to say, is this right for me, and what is right for me? So that date is in the back of my mind, because I would love to, if I commit to the 10,000 coaching program plus QHD, I would love to be part of the VIP. So the date then becomes a factor in my paying attention to the rise and fall of my yay and nay. And then my just speaking out loud here helps me kind of start to sort out, is it even this path, or is it even something else? I just turned 60. I feel like the 60s are going to be the best decade of my life. So
I love that.
Am I meant to come into this and be supported? Because I feel like the triple split part of me has been longing, especially during COVID and being isolated, to have a place where I feel like there's a team approach happening. And that maybe that's what's been missing for me as I've been trying to launch and have nothing, and have everything just kind of fall flat. So thanks for the 25th and 28th clarity. That I'll look for an answer in email, and thank you for all you're doing. And I don't know if there's anything else that, as I spoke to this, that might help.
Well, I want to add that if you do the 10K package, you can always upgrade to Q. I send people B all the time. B, this person wants to upgrade to QAS, and she upgrades people all the time. A ton of people start out with, because the 10K package comes with QHD 1 through 4.
Right.
And so many people start out with QHD, and then they're like, wait, there's another training and it has EFT and the flower essences and all these awesome things. I'm so into that. I want to do that. And then they'll just upgrade. So that's why even with our professional trainings, it's like, you want a little nibble or you want the whole kit and caboodle, you can do that. So just informing, of that piece.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious, Barbara, do you have an open head or defined head?
I have a defined head. I actually have all 3 channels in the head with the 63.4 connected to the ajna, but then I have a wide split from the ajna to the throat.
Okay, cool. So I also want to, and this is not just for you, and remember everyone, it's kind of fun for us because we're talking to a bunch of people, and so we start to see themes pop up that people are processing through in their decision making, right? And so I want to also first encourage you, along with any other sacral beings, to really be tuning into your gut response about this. And, there are a lot of things that we can try to figure out about, is it this or is it that, or what's the thing? And just tuning into that gut knowing, because you have the ability to know yourself in that way. And, as you ride the emotional wave, about really just checking if that response stays consistent over time. And then also to lovingly and gently encourage people to get curious about, are you feeling a really clear yes to this, but perhaps the timing isn't right around certain things like energy or resources, versus are you feeling a really clear yes to this and you're afraid to launch into it because of what it might mean for how you have to show up or do the things that you've been really wanting, and oh my God, then I would really have to do the things that I've been saying, or is it fear, or is it some misalignment that needs to get in order before the timing will be right? And those are 2 very different things. And so to just encourage everyone, to tune into, if you're a sacral being, tune into your sacral response. And if you're an open sacral, to process in whatever way, if you're a manifestor initiator, to really tune into your divine creative flow and that spark of knowing that you have inside. If you're a projector, to allow yourself to process whatever you need to process to come to that knowing. And if you're a reflector, to give yourself permission to give yourself a little time for that decision. And then to also tune in if stuff is coming up for you, where is it coming from? Is it coming from an authentic misalignment, or is it coming from fear? So.
And that I'm so glad you spoke on that, B. And then just to add one more thing, Barbara, you spoke to your triple split. So, and there are people on the call that have been in our community for a while and that have been our professional students and know the type of community we are and the support. And I shared on our last Q&A that the best comment that someone gave one time was like, there's so much support in here, I can't even keep up with all the support. And I said, oh my God, it's like the best problem ever to have. And so those who are our current students on the call, I mean, can attest to just our hearts as not only as a team, but as a community, and that there is that support that not only comes from, the 5 of us on team KCP, but just everybody that is in the community. And that's one of the things that I love about our communities, how supportive and how people show up for one another and the collaboration. And one of the things that brings me so much joy, and I feel like a little cheerleader on the sidelines, is seeing the support and the collaborations that come out, and how each other is helping. They create things in their businesses, and it's not just like, this is all about me and that's it. It's really this love. It's just a love. It's a love community, love fest. Everyone's loving, supporting one another. So just wanted to share that as well. And I know that, Dr. Nicolia, Danny, Aaron, they have had a taste of that thus far. So.
And you probably felt that on the MAP class too. I always love that shows up in MAP, is everyone's just so supportive of each other and loving. And so, yeah, those are the kinds of people Karen tends to attract. So, yeah.
Oh, Krista says, yes, I can't keep up with all the support. So it's like, we're there. Like, it's nice because people come in, especially the orchestrators, the projectors of the group. They're like, I come in and I get what I need, and then I kind of go out because it's always there when they need it. So
the Q&As should be posted to there's now like kind of oh my God, English escaping me. There's one page where we have posted all the replays of both the challenge videos that Karen's already posted, and these Q&As are also posted. So you can go back and also watch the Q&A from Friday if you want to hear what questions were asked and answered on that one. They're always different. So.
So can you say where it is?
Oh, I can grab the link for you.
Yeah, I was just looking to see, do you have the link?
Do you want to grab it? Or I don't know if you're there before me. Cindy beat me to it earlier because it's Cindy. She's not.
That is definitely not a fair fight with Cindy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I've had like 1 or 2 times where I've beaten her to posting a link, and I was like, just like so satisfying because she's too right there. Yeah.
She's too quick.
Danielle, I don't want to call you out if you're not like wanting to be called out, but I know that you had some questions. I didn't know if you wanted to ask them live or if you just wanted to listen.
Actually, I do. I just hadn't gotten to getting onto it. I was listening. So I'm interested in the business only part where I only get the level 1, right? Yep. And not the full level, all the 4 levels. But what I'm worried about is that, so how does the accountability and the weekly things work? Because some people will be going through all 4 levels, and then others like myself will just be going through the 12 modules. Like, will we be on different tracks? Will I some weeks not have any tasks for me, accountability tasks? Just explain to me how that's going to work together.
Totally. So as we were kind of talking to Danny at the beginning, it's really a program that's going to be tailored to you and to any of the other participants in this cohort as far as what you need. And so there will be people in there who are not studying the full 1 through 4 levels of human design. There are going to be people who are bringing their own business questions and doing their own thing. And even if people are studying QHD 1 through 4, it's not like a requirement that they would, some people won't even be able to finish all of that in the 1 year time. So it's not going to be like a totally QHD centric everything. In fact, it just will help you integrate whatever the tools are that you're using. If that happens to be human design because you're going through the quantum human design program, then that will be heavily integrated for you. And if not, then it will be the other things that you're integrating. But partly the reason that you get QHD1 with it is it because it gives you that foundation of understanding your type. And so understanding how, because I know that you had asked the question about wanting to learn how to run a business aligned with your design. And that's exactly what that will help you to do, is understand what your design is. And maybe you already do, but then to go through the program with that information of understanding how to do it. And so accountability, there'll be 1, sometimes 2 accountability calls a week, and it will just be like basically group coaching. And then you'll also have pods for accountability. You'll have other touch points throughout the week. But I mean, a really core aspect of what Karen's going to be teaching is about creating that personal brand and that personal essence of what your business is. And how do you want to do marketing? How do you want to support your clients? Is it one-to-one? Is it group? Is it social media? Is it not? Is it email? Is it not? You know, there's so many ways to build a business. It's what's aligned for you, and what would work for her or for 10 other people isn't going to be what works for you and what draws your ideal people to you for what you have to offer.
Okay. So is it that every month we're all working through, let's say, one of the 12 modules together, or do we just have access and we show up according to whatever we are self-paced? Does that make sense? Like, is it a group going through the program together, or is it you're still self-paced, but you're just showing up wherever you are? Where, does that make sense?
I want to say it's both.
Okay.
So
Kristin, you looked like you were going to answer that.
yeah. So, well, I want to jump in before specifically answering that, Danielle. And really, I love that you asked this question, your original question, because I want to clarify for those on the call and those watching the replay, the professional training piece. This is why we have it, the two, they go together, but they really are separate. So like when you say you buy the 6K package, the Quantum Human Design Level 1 is pre-recorded, self-paced, 10 plus hours. Like you're going to go through that at your own pace. And then you show up for the Coach Mastermind, it's the Coach Mastermind. So like it's together, but it's also separate.
Okay.
So, and I think that just is a good clarification, because for somebody like you, who's not really sure, you're going to have the ability to understand yourself and how you can build the coaching mastermind piece according to you and your type. And then you don't have to integrate that in for your clients if you don't want to. Okay. So I just wanted to explain that. And then right now when you do sign up for the mastermind, it's called there's a vault, which is self-paced pre-recorded lessons. There's like 11 so far that are in there. And then Karen, because this is brand new, she's going to be releasing the 12 new modules weekly.
Oh, okay.
So then you'll get one of the newer modules, but for the people who were like, I want to hit the ground running, they'll have like 11 courses in there that they can just go and take already while they're waiting for the weekly modules to roll out.
And the weekly modules are for 12 weeks. So then after that, it's just the building the business and the Q&A and the accountability. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you. That helps a lot.
Yeah. And I think, because Barbara, you had used the word integration also. And I think that that's a huge thing that the coaching is intended to do, is support you of like, okay, I have all this information, right? And I have all these tools. How do I integrate those things into an actual business that I can use to serve people? And what does that mean? And so, Dr. Nicole, I saw your question as well. And I think it's both and. So like for the people where quantum human design is like a key tool in your toolbox that you're using to coach your clients, certainly you'll be supported to run your business by your design and also to coach your clients appropriately. And if human design is one of the tools you use to use that, then absolutely. If it's not, then it can be these other tools. But I mean, of course, Karen has a ton of, and you kind of saw that in the hot seat coaching that she did on Friday was, she definitely used some aspects of the person in the hot seat's design to talk to them about their type or their centers or their profile or their gates, right? Like she would definitely bring that up. And she talked a lot also about just aspects of their life and the things that and we talk about this too. It's like conditioning and how we live. The chart is one aspect of that, right? And then there's, of course, other lived aspects of that too. be on the chart. So yes, it's both and. So if
Yeah.
that's a huge piece, I know a lot of our current specialists are like, I want to really get support in coaching my clients well using this tool. Yes. And there are a lot of people who are like, I want to run my business by design using these other tools that I have, even if it's just straight up coaching. Yes.
And that's the beauty of the live calls and being able to pre-submit questions too, because however you're running your business or want to or desire to, you're going to ask questions. Okay, this is what I want to do. How do I do it? Or this is I'm stuck here, or this is the issue I'm having. How do I break through this? Or how do I work this out? Right. So, and then Karen responds based on, what it is that you need. And that's the whole customization piece, which is super cool. And it's going to be really awesome to hear what other people are doing and what other people, what other questions people are asking on the calls, because that could be like, oh my gosh, I just got my answer, or, that just gave me a great idea. So, which is super fun being in community with one another when that happens. So
Can I say something?
7 minutes.
I think that happens a lot to calls that I go on, and I don't even get to ask my question, and somebody asks it before me, and then 10 other people are like, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed to know too. So I feel like we're all in the same energy space when we go on these calls for sure.
Totally.
Borrowed benefits.
Yes.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely. And that's also why too, it's like, I think there are some people who are trying to wrap their head around, well, how is this going to work to have, some people in there who are really using human design as their core thing and some people who really aren't. And I can't explain to you the magic of how it's going to work. I just know it does, because like you're saying, some people use human design speak and some people use this other speak, but it's the same way when, you look at all the spiritual schools of thought or all the, on such a core base level, it all ends up boiling down to such similar things. And that's where, Karen had that one video this week about the 9 resiliency keys, right? And on some level, we can probably look at all of our struggles in life boil down to one or more of these 9 keys, which are simple but not easy, right? So we can look through so many different lenses to support our clients, and it's just, which lens are you using, which tools are you using, and how can we support them so that you can serve at your highest level and build a business that honors your energy, your design, and what you're trying to do out in the world, basically.
And the whole, speaking of borrowed benefits, there's a whole you show up and you can tap into others' energies and and kind of take that and ride that out for a bit too. If for those that because there's a lot of our professional students who are like, I'm just here on the call because I need some energy today. And I'm, and especially if I'm on the call, it's like, Kristin, I'm using your time and energy. I'm like, okay, you can have it. So that's helpful as well. And that's the whole accountability piece. There's people who we'll follow up with training, like, hey, how you doing? Just checking in, and they're like, oh, I needed that. Thank you. Like I needed someone to just follow up with me. And that's, now that you have this whole group that's literally designated to doing that, and Jamila being the accountability coach, and if you need that push or encouragement, then you have a place to get it. So sometimes that's all it takes. Just one little support piece. So we have about 6 minutes left. Hi, BB.
Something that's coming to me is that, oh, I'm sorry. I'll let BB go. Sorry.
Yeah, I do have a question. In fact, Betsy, I wrote you on the messenger thing last night. I'm sorry. Pardon me?
Nothing. I'm perplexed. Go on.
Okay, so yeah, somehow or another, I got off on the wrong time here. I'm curious, have you guys gone over logistics? When are the group meetings and payment plans and things like that?
Yes, but I'm happy to repeat it because I think we all can benefit from that. So there will be an hour-long call Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, each with a different theme for the duration of the year. currently scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Central and Tuesday, Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. You'll get Karen for a good number of those. Kristin and I will be alternating one of those days as like a Q&A open office. And they're all just touch points to support you as you move through the material and to continue to keep you accountable and to help you in growing and developing in whatever it is that you're working on. Yes, those times again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Central and Tuesday, Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. And those will be recorded. If you have a question and you can't make it live, you can pre-submit it and we'll make sure it gets answered and that you are able to watch it back on the replay.
You'll have access to everything from for 1 year, and then access will be removed. So you have a year to get through the program, and you will get a certificate of completion at the end.
Yes, and I'll just repeat again, because I think it's just important that the intention behind that is to support you in being accountable to yourself in really doing the work and showing up for yourself, because it's so easy for all of us to, put it off until tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. And, this program is really for people who are like, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm wanting to show up. I've been looking for that, accountability, that community, that kick in the pants, that structure that's going to help me to really do what I've been saying I want to do with support.
Oh, and to clarify, the mastermind piece, the coach mastermind will be the part that you'll have access to the professional training. If you do QHD level 1 or the 1 through 4, that doesn't go away. You have access to that.
Yes.
The coach mastermind piece.
And what if,
good reminder, there's also one Tuesday evening call a month.
One a month at 7 p.m. Central. Yeah.
To cover time zones.
I think it'll be the first Tuesday of each month.
But don't quote us on that.
Yeah. You'll get
so there was the Karen call that was now 5 days a week instead of once a week. It sounds like with you guys.
Karen won't be on all 5 days. I think she'll be 3.
She'll be on 3 out of the 5. Yeah.
But yeah,
okay.
I mean, honestly, y'all, getting Karen 3 days a week is like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was supposed to be like an office hours call and another group call. So it's like the 5 days a week, part of also the group call and part of the office hour calls.
Correct.
Okay.
And just throwing this out there, those of you who are professional students already and CASPA members, there are other additional calls, above and beyond the coach mastermind. So I'm just saying. There's even, and the UHD membership. I mean, like there's a whole nother like vault of calls.
Yes. So this is specific just for the coach mastermind.
Yes, just for the coach mastermind. Good, BB?
Yeah, there was, I think, Betsy, if you don't mind just, looking over what I sent you and then responding.
I don't have it, BB.
It's in the messenger.
I looked.
Oh, Facebook Messenger, you mean?
Yeah, because that's where the link takes me, is to the Facebook Messenger, and it says Betsy Batista Facebook.
Wait,
here.
is it Betsy Batista or Betsy Batista QHD?
In Messenger, the link takes me to Betsy Batista, but it's your picture.
Yeah. So
somebody says lives in Asheville, North Carolina. That's not true.
So
I actually am in Asheville right now, believe it or not.
Okay.
So she's in her other Facebook, which is why she didn't see it.
Oh,
she's in the QHD
a bunch of people are trying to message me on my personal. That's
okay. Slack her.
Well, no, I took the email and it says click here to talk to Betsy, and I clicked that.
That's unfortunate. That's okay.
And that's where it goes.
You know about this though, because there may be people thinking I'm ignoring them. I'm not ignoring you. If you didn't. Okay, I never go on my other account. Okay.
Okay, so
you might change the link in the emails going forward, because if you have a question, if your name starts with this, blah blah, click here. So that's what I did.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you for informing us. We appreciate that.
I borrowed your manifestor energy.
Yeah. Okay, so we are at the top of the hour. I just want to make sure, BB, are you complete before we move on to Barbara?
Yeah, she'll answer the questions. I'm great.
Okay, and you can Slack us too.
Yeah.
Okay. Barbara?
Okay, I do have two questions. One of them is I was recognizing that I was thinking about going through my process and that some of what I'm doing to integrate is going to take some personal sorting. Is there time, is this all group coaching, or are there times where we get individual attention in the way of support?
So it's group coaching for who's enrolled in this cohort on the daily calls, but there's a separate Slack workspace for the coaching, and you can direct message with Jamila or anyone on the team there, and then also those in the community. So, I mean, I know a ton of so for our professional students, I mean, they direct message each other one-on-one all the time. And same goes for whoever is on the team. So
and I would imagine our pods would probably also be a place where some of that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other question is, in the QHD, it talks about you go through one level, right? And you have, like, let's say 10 hours for the first level, and you go through that, and then you pass that level to get onto the next level. So what does the certification look like? How do you know that we've done all the work and that we've retained the information to become that person who can represent?
Totally.
What's the certification process?
So when I onboard you for the QHD professional training, I give you a document, a 1-page document that has your certification instructions. So just so you have it, but just to inform, then for levels 1 and 2, there is a certification exam. So each training video comes with study questions at the end and I encourage people, answer the study questions in a separate document on your computer, like open up a Word doc and answer them, because the exam is all of those study questions compiled into one really long exam, and you'll want to go and copy and paste. Otherwise, you'll be there for like 4 hours filling out the exam. So levels 1 and 2 are actual electronic exams from the study questions that come with each video lesson in each level 1 and 2 training. Level 3s and 4, everyone celebrates because they don't have to take an exam anymore, but they have to submit a reading, a 15-minute reading, and level 3 covers gates, circuits, and channels. So level 3, that little 15-minute reading is specific to gates, circuits, channels. And then level 4 is another submission of a reading based on like conundrums, markers in the chart, like different things, but I give you the instructions for those. Okay. So yeah, great. Those, when you see the study questions in the exams, you'll be like, oh, because like if you can answer them, there's a lot. Yeah. So I had one person say, oh man, I wish I would have listened to you. Because I say everywhere, like, answer as you go along, because it's a lot if you have to do it all at once. Mm-hmm. But for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I love certifying people. I get real excited. I'm like, that's our favorite thing to do. One of them, to certify people.
Yeah. And I found your message, BB, so I will respond.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for showing up and bringing your beautiful questions, which I'm sure many people who watch the replay will also benefit from. Mm-hmm. You have us still. If you have more questions, send a message, send an email. We are here. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make sure that the link in the emails going forward links to my professional Facebook account so that if you message me, I don't miss it.
Now I have to check ours.
Oh my gosh. But, and then
Facebook, email.
Yep. Facebook, email, and our emails are just our names. So I'm Betsy and Kristin with an I, not an E, at quantumalignmentsystem.com. You can also send us emails there, and happy to keep supporting you.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.